Salutations, slightly inebriated city dwellers. Automatic here for Automatic Games. And tonight is going to serve as like the second half of my exploration of the State of Otto in City Skylines. So thanks for joining me. Here we go. And in our previous installment of this ordeal, we looked at 2 of 4 maps. Essentially what I did was each map serves as a county in the state of Otto, and we looked at the 2 southernmost counties. The southernmost of which is Prince William County, named after my son. It's a pretty well-populated area. And just north of that, we went into Odev County, named after Jacob Odev, and that little county, they're all the same size. That county is dominated by a city which I've dubbed Jacob. Certainly a lot of the cities, towns, and operations have been named after people I know, mostly online, but a few family members as well. And today, or rather tonight, we're going to get into Cat County, and we're getting a little more rural. The further north you go, the more rural it gets. That's just, I don't know, that's just the way it is. And after that, we'll be moving up into the northernmost county, which is Gary County, named after Loco 4-Pack. So, essentially, we're going to be looking at some pretty rural areas. But I have fun with some of the smaller towns and stuff like that in this title. Now, certainly you can build a rather large city. I haven't actually accomplished that myself yet. I would say that Jabig is the largest city in the state, and I want to say that it has somewhere about 16,000 population-wise. It looks a lot bigger than a town than a city, rather. Yeah, a town that would have 16,000 people. But that's neither here nor there. So here we go. I guess I gotta get this going here. And this is still in anticipation of Park Life, a DLC that's coming out for City Skylines, which it lets you put in various everything from zoos to city parks. What else? Amusement parks. And I know I'm missing one, but I don't really care because it doesn't really matter at this junction. I don't have the DLC yet. So we'll be loading it up as stated. We'll be visiting Cat County first. We want to be sure and enable mods, because I believe this map is dependent on a few mods. Looks good. And so now we start it up. Yeah, the land value stuff is kind of tricky. You know, if you're looking to build a neighborhood well, for instance, a rural neighborhood, perhaps a town with not a lot of wealth, if you inadvertently let that land value get too high, well, then your little poor dwellings end up looking quite luxurious. And you don't really want that if you're talking about a poor town, right? So that's kind of a hazard. Though it's not very difficult to keep the land value low, you want to avoid beauty. That's one thing. You know, just kind of don't go crazy with the parks or anything. So here is kind of a cinematic view, if you will, of Cat County. This is the I-77. It's its southernmost part in this county. As you can see, I-77 south to Javik, the next large city. Now up here, well, we'll kind of have a satellite view, if you will. Down south there, that is Cattsville. Show you more specifically there. So as you can see, you got West Cattsville, South Cattsville, Cattsville Heights. West Cattsville is a lot of farming going on there. We're just farming the shit out of that area. Down in South Cattsville, for the most part, I would say South Cattsville, it's dominated by a church up on a hill. Not much of a hill, but nonetheless, it is an incline. And I believe it makes up part of that residential area to the south. In fact, I guess I can find out. Yeah, it goes right up to the mall, which I guess would be the Cattsville Mall, right? I don't know. You know, let's, hell with it. Let's name it that. That seems to be appropriate. Yeah, it's called the Mall of Moderation. No thanks. Let's name this bitch the Cattsville Mall. God, did I smell Cattsville with one T or two? Is it neither here nor there? I considered calling it the South Cattsville Mall, but that implies that there's a North Cattsville Mall, and there's not. So that would be disheartening. You know, to those that are like, oh, I don't want to go all the way down there. See if there's a mall up north. In fact, there's not even a North Cattsville. However, in what would be North, yeah, you wouldn't want to live up here. This is like the, oh shit, I didn't want to do that. Yeah, that name's good. That's all I wanted from the mall. Okay, yeah, it's a landfill, some incineration plants, that kind of business. Not a great area in which to reside. For some reason, we've got power problems. This plagued me last time that I was trying to showcase some of these areas. And I can't do that. Can I do that? No. Well, I can do this. And so that's what I'll do. That's the thing. I believe we have natural disasters on. I'm going to double check that real quick. Yeah, random disasters. It's just that their frequency is rather low, which is what I want. We'll make it even lower. Because some of those are pretty damn devastating. There's no question about it. Even the thunderstorms. I would say especially the thunderstorms because it entails so much micromanagement. They hit these power lines. And, you know, you'll see neighborhoods go out. Oh, you gotta go to first destroy the power line, only to rebuild it. There's, as far as I can tell, there's no repair option. But what can you do? You just gotta roll with it. What are these? I mean, I know what they are. I placed them. They're emergency shelters. At some point, I want to change their names to vaults, right? You know? Call them vaults. Maybe I'll number them, starting with 1. Who knows? Because in a sense, they kind of act more like the vaults from Fallout. Only in so much as, like, so I place them, and the evacuation route is, in fact, well, you can't really see it there. It doesn't show it to you. Well, anyways, as you're placing them, you can kind of see the area of effect. And what it's showing you is walking distance. So it is expected that people are going to walk to this place. And in truth, I don't really have it set up for that. Not this one. Because I don't know if people will just go cross-country on us or not. I don't believe that they will. They're going to be looking for pedestrian walkways. So, to that end, I guess I can do this and save. We're going to go to, I believe it's under landscaping. And here we go, a walking path. Or we could have a dirt, like a gravel path. No, I think we want pavement. Whoever's building these vaults, these shelters, can certainly afford to pave a walkway. We'll have it go right by these sons of bitches' house. And hopefully we'll be able to go over the railroad. I don't know. I think we can. Yeah, we can. Oh, maybe. Come on. Are the trains that tall? Really? Oh, good. So, you know, I think that'll kind of help. I don't like the way the path looks over there on the left side. It seems to cut off. Oh, let's see. Yeah, there it hooks up. Kind of nice. The trains can get... Boy, that's a hell of an incline. Yeah, I'm not fond of that. Oh, let's go back and get rid of it, shall we? You know... I'm just really making the people struggle to get up the path then. So, we'll do this again. We will, again, start next to this house. We just won't go as far. And, do we have no choice? Is that... No, well, we can do something like that. So it's just not as steep an incline. That's a hell of an incline. That's almost requiring, stairs, right? In tonight's episode, Automatic lays the foundation for the mysterious vault tech. The reasoning is simple. There are no super mutants blowing shit up. It's about time someone died around here. Good evening, Grayson. How the hell are you, man? Yeah, I guess we are kind of going the vault tech route. That's what we're dealing with, for sure. Oh, really? Really? Okay, that's what I want. That'll work. And does the path connect? Oh, it does. That looks nice. That's pretty. And you know that ain't half bad either. I mean, it's not ideal. I'd rather have the path completely connected to the walking bridge, but... So that should suffice. That'll at least get pedestrians from this area over to the vaults. And why play games with it? Let's, you know, I said I was going to start renaming these things. Let's do it. Although I feel kind of weird having Catville being the first town in this whole area, in the state, that is, to have a vault. Because obviously I'd want to start with Vault 1. And if I did that here, that would certainly imply that Catville was the testing ground for that. It just doesn't make sense to me. Small town being the test subject, so to speak. Now, Mount Mortal makes slightly more sense, only because it is a mountain. So maybe, you know, it was built with the idea that people are heading for the hills, no matter where they are in the state. Doing fine on winding with a smooth bourbon and some automatic goodness. Oh, that's fantastic. I, too, am drinking tonight. I am, partaking in my favorite, Stella. Stella. God loves Stella. It's me favorite. Me all-time favorite. Oh, I wonder, did I have my thumb over the label, or did I... Waha. Well, I don't have to prove it to you, I guess. I guess you'd probably take me by my word. It's dangerous. That's dangerous, but you very well might. So anyways, we've got, a vault up here somewhere. Somewheres. Where the hell did I put it? Or maybe this little town just doesn't deserve a vault. No offense to the man that this is named after. Mortal. But shit, come on, Otto. Use your eyes. Or better yet, let's be tricky about this. Maybe go to the shelters If I go to place one, maybe it'll show me where another... No. What? Seriously? They're way up there. And there's criminal activity in that one. What the fuck is that? Why? Why is there criminal activity involved? Well, I don't know. Every great engineer. Yeah, no doubt. First order of business. Everyone have a drink. Next, let's talk about city safety. Let's see. You know what? Seeing as there is some kind of crime ring coming out of this vault, what the hell? This is going to be Vault 001. Okay, I'm sorry. I just think that's funny. The other vault is now criminal as well. Okay. I mean, whatever. That's just, it's bizarre to me. Vault 001. You know, in doing this, I almost feel that, that I'm going to have to create some kind of natural disaster here. Just to see how these vaults work. I mean, I have messed around with them, but I am curious as to how efficient they'll be. Now, do I name this Vault 002, or do we... Excuse me, Jesus, I just burped into the mic. I'm fired. Thanks for joining me tonight, folks. No. Or, I'm thinking, do I just call this Vault 1 as well? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Technically, it's a different vault. Yeah, I'm going to name it Vault 1 as well. Both of these lead down to a secret vault, if you will. Jesus. This is why you don't drink and play. Okay. So that's kind of pointless, but we did it. And then we've got water reserves there. Because that's another thing I realized. And it has its own power. It's certainly in a natural disaster. Man, there's more crime down there. I tell you, Mount Mortal needs its own PD. I'm fairly confident it doesn't have a police department. I mean, that is the town, right there. A church, a couple stores. Other than that, residential. Certainly the emphasis in this area is mining. And this is just kind of a hub, a place where the miners live. Just down the street, you're going to find a freeway, entrance, exit, whatever. And then the road just moves all the way on to Alabama. Every vault has two entrances. First task, after building a shaft deep into the earth, dig a second shaft back up, in case cave-ins. See, you've justified it. I'm going with you, and you caught that too, apparently, the criminal activity in both vaults. Now, there's criminal activity here, but this indicates that it's just downright out of hand. Which to me, my imagination kind of goes aflutter, and I think that means fools be dying there. And now we got power outages in a couple houses. What is going on? I mean, that's just got to be a rolling blackout, because it's not affecting the whole neighborhood, so. So with that being Vault 1, I'm going to name these Vault 2. And then I'm going to save and just get on with my business. You know, maybe off camera I will go around and rename all these vaults. Certainly that wasn't my intent, was to stream renaming vaults, or renaming emergency shelters. You know, I just get started and then, Eureka, let's get into something else, in this case, naming vaults. That'll happen. You'll have to forgive me. Shit, you don't have to forgive me. That's just ridiculous, Otto. Telling people what they have to do. Okay. So, we're gonna save that. Not that we've done a whole hell of a lot, but... And now, the news. So yeah, we were looking at Cattsville before I got carried away on a tangent. South Cattsville has a South Cattsville Mall now. And as you can see, one building definitely dominates the landscape here in Cattsville, and that is this, which I believe is the county courthouse. Speaking of counties, Cattsville is the county seat. Yeah, I don't know if that makes it the biggest town. Let's look at populations. Hell, I don't have a calculator on me. Population, 2,800. West Cattsville has a population of 1,500. South Cattsville, just 303. Cattsville Heights, which is mostly industrial, it's only got 125. So yeah, you do the math. Well, it's just shy of 5,000, right? So we're rounding, that's about 3. I'm not even going to round that. That's 4,500. Yeah, so slightly over 4,000. We'll just say that. But further up north, you've got Snug City. Okay, Cattsville's definitely larger. So yeah, as you're coming up to 77, you can drop off on this exit, head right into Cattsville, which will also lead you beyond to Mount Mortal. Otherwise, you continue up to 77. Then on your right side is Manny Fields. This is an oil-rich area, so you're going to see a lot of oil rigs and all that stuff. Oil rigs. Now, an oil rig is in the water. Either way, you're going to see oil industry. Now, up here, you're going to find Snugs City. This is also a big interchange, and kind of a wacky interchange. I don't know what my inspiration for doing this was, but Snug City is part of the interchange, and I have come across small towns like this that, in a way, as you go through them, you can only get the sense that they exist because they are part of the interchange. So, for instance, let's, I don't think this freeway going east to west has a name, but let's call it I-70. And this one north to south is I-77. We have actually named that. So you're northbound on 77. Now, you want to go west on 70. You've got no choice but to exit. See, and there's 2 exits. But yeah, you have no choice but to do that. So you would exit here, hang a right, and that's going to give Snug City some business. You know, even if you're just pulling off to take a piss or buy a bag of chips, it's going to give them some business. And obviously the converse is true, so if you're on I-70, east or westbound, and you want to get on 77, welcome to Snug City. Another thing that I did kind of differently with Snug City is there's industry right smack dab in the middle of it, and I usually don't do that. Industrial complex at the heights of Cattsville makes sense. Matches the rumor. Matches the rumor has it. Cat is top heavy. I should not have read that one out loud, but I did. No, I'm not going to debate your point. No contest. But I just feel ashamed having read that out loud. So yeah, that's Snug City. Named after Snugs. She's got a YouTube channel as well. And so too, this Manny Fields, that's after Manny Faces. What else do we got in this county? Let's go farther north along 77. What is this exit? Oh, yeah, so this exit leads to kind of, well, it breaks off over to Alibert. And here you have the county penitentiary and disaster response unit right across the street. Is that a happy face? Oh, no. that would be kind of silly now, wouldn't it? No, it's just an official seal. But shit starts to hit the fan. You need rescue helicopters to get out there. They're going to come from this disaster response unit. And I don't think you were going to see anything else had you continued north along 77. There's another exit to get out of there. Here's another vault. Shit, that should have been Vault 1 right next to the disaster response unit, but whatever. I don't care. It's going to be Vault 3 now. So this road leads you up here, and I believe it's called Alibert. Let's check. Yeah, Alibert Fields. She may take it out on you if she objects. I welcome her to prove me wrong. Well, you know, should it come to that, I suggest that somebody stream it. I might be their last stream, but damn it. It'd be good viewing. I hope she wouldn't deny that or object yet. Alibert Fields, their biggest issue right now seems to be a bit of unemployment. Aside from the fact that they have 2 dead bodies there in town right now. One in this house and another one up the street. Certainly, the coroner or whatever has been dispatched and will arrive, but as it stands, they're not there yet. In fact, there's one of them now. Let's see which one he's going after. Ah, yes, the one down the street here. God, I hate the camera. If there is some collision, well, it bounces you off and shit. Where is it going? Never mind. There must be another dead body up there. Unless the coroner's just heading home for the day. Well, at any rate, he's taking us farther north, and so, as such, we'll go ahead and show you what's up here. Lake Whim. Lake Whim. And that's kind of an exclusive vacation spot. Now, I don't know how far away people would come to go to this. Game-wise, they only come from this county, but it's got some interesting amenities. Over here you got your, well, looks like late night volleyball happening right now. Except for this guy. He's kind of just hanging out in the parking lot. Up to no good, no doubt. I want to say these are fishing tours. Well, I want to say it because it's true. What else we got? Just a little touch of beauty there, just off the road. Bicycle paths, which are actually a little busier. Is that guy got a dog with him? Yeah, he does. That's cool. So the bicycle paths cut through the forest area of Lake Whim. A little umbrella tells you that this place has kind of been zoned for this kind of stuff, for tourism and whatnot. Then you've got, I don't know what you call this. This is just, well, this is where the bars are. Bars and a little bit of housing. Maybe these are hotels. Yeah. Yeah, you've got some hotels, and in fact, they just wheeled a dead body out of that hotel. I don't know about this county. I'm actually starting to get concerned for it. There's a lot of shit happening here. You got criminals controlling the vaults. You've got a lot of dead people. Maybe it's natural. But that begs the question, no, it doesn't beg any question, does it? Then you've got this island. That is Dye Island. So Lake Wim, Dye Island. Well, this whole area is named after Anna Wim, Lady Di. That's where I kind of get the inspiration for this one. Dye Island it's about as good as it gets in this county, I think. You know, you've just got this bridge leading there. It's getting a lot of traffic, a lot more than I would have expected, but it's been a while since I've taken a look at this place, and I see where the traffic's going. People can come up here and go horseback riding. I don't know why they're doing it at this time of night, but they sure as hell. I mean, they can, right? You've got these two houses. Well, rather three houses. There's another one there, isn't there? The land value here is substantial. So these are three very wealthy families that live here on Dye Island. And I believe that this is just a marina, and so it is. So that's that. And just south of it, again, was Alabare Fields. And this is certainly where the townies are. The people that would work in those hotels and bars. If they're not farming here in Alabare Fields, then they're working at those joints. I kind of feel that all vacation spots need a little towny town. Towny town, that's... yeah, never mind. It's neither here nor there, is it? Now I'm kind of wondering, was there anything else to this place? Oh, the Quick Smoke Dig, named after Mikey, Ed, Quick Smoke, all one man. Various names. Cool motherfucker. Nonetheless, apparently, he's digging. I dig it. So it's just an outfit that does mining over there. Here's another water reserve. Here, like in any county, any map that you build, obviously you're going to need this stuff. Kind of get into the mechanics of this. Yeah, you'll need water treatment plants. These are obviously, yeah, pumping stations. Pumping stations feed into the plants. Then you would go to your water tab, and you're good to go. I just had a crazy realization, though. These pipes are old. They're outdated as hell. Towny town. Yes, it is a word now. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash my hands of what? I think I need to wash my hands of what I've done here. Or what I have failed to do. Because, the two counties south of here, and indeed the one north of it, too, so this is the only county that I know of that does not have hot water. Now, this game is kind of weird in that you would deliver hot water from the water treatment plants. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, in real life, you've got your hot water heaters. So the city can go ahead and deliver cold water to you. You heat it yourself inside your house and you're good to go. But, you know, in this game, you can have hot water citywide. And certainly if the temperature, you know, here it's 60 degrees, but if the temperature drops too low, it's a huge boon to have hot water, because it also, I think it's heating too. So maybe what that translates is, oh, it's just heating pipes. So it's not necessarily hot water. It's gas, isn't it? No, it's a water pipe that can transfer heat in addition to water. Use these pipes to connect heating facilities to buildings in need of heat, but... wouldn't that be gas? Honestly, I mean... at least here in, Exotic, Ohio, which is, it's a part of Ohio, it's called Exotic. We have, you would use gas for that. You would use Columbia Gas, or a, freaking gas company. And it's not water. You shouldn't drink it. You shouldn't try to drink it. Anyways, you could continue on I-77 north to Denise, which is in Gary County. Face Corp Oil, that's going back to many faces. Holy fuck. Face Corp Oil is gone. And, we got a forest fire. Wildfires, folks. The fire department is there. In fact, they're chasing a gas truck. Well, shit, somebody better be doing something about that. Are there no, I mean, I do not have to manually control the response to things like this. Yeah, the disaster response unit should be sending, no, they don't. It's the freaking fire department needs helicopters. Just because it would be more efficient. Because I don't know where these fire trucks are coming from. But just the way our freeway system, yeah, freaking firehouse, of course. Because I never renamed it. I was wondering if it was the Cattsville Fire Department, it was the Alabama Fields Fire Department. Yeah, I don't know. JPIC, ODEV, how the hell are ya? It's not water, but it's wet. How thirsty are you? You have a tiny town, like, and so I'm guessing you don't mean population. You mean tiny town, like, kids. God, that's horrifying, man. Am I the only one that thinks that that should be annexed by the nearest responsible town? ASAP? So I think we've seen everything. If we were to follow 70, I can't name this 70. JP knows what I'm talking about. If he's in Colorado, I think I-70 goes through there. You see, that's my problem. Yeah, there's an I-70 that goes right through Columbus, and this is not it, so I don't want to confuse myself. Although it's easy to remember. Let's call it I-50. Or let's just not name it. I already have I-77. But if you were to take I-50, or the unnamed freeway, east, you've got this exit. You can head over to Mount Mortal and to Vault 1, or you could head north, which this is kind of a low-traffic road. It will ultimately lead you to Alabama Fields and past these big turbines. But otherwise, you're in a very rural area. Ultimately, I might have farms crop up here, but I don't think the land is actually ideal for farming, so who knows. And it goes on out of the county with no additional exits. I have at many times considered putting an exit here, but for some reason I've decided against it for the time being. Certainly, if you desired going to Lake Wim, Dye Island, having an exit here would be nice. But, you know, it's a vacation spot, and it's just not easy to get to. I think that might be part of the allure. Alright, just bitching over the Fallout Radio post-E3 stream, which is going on about Fallout 76. Ooh yeah, Fallout 76. Yeah, I'm having a good day. Can't complain. Can't complain. I hope that you are too, are you? Just bitching over. Yeah, you know, and full disclosure, by the way, if you feel like bitching aloud, you're welcome to join. Certainly a game like this, I do more sitting and looking than I do actually, like, engrossing myself with minutia, at least while I'm streaming, you know what I mean? But, boy, yeah, that's a can of worms. I tell you, I wasn't totally dismayed by Todd Howard's presentation, or the interview today that he did. earlier in the day. I tried to glean as much information from it as I could, and I don't know, some of the stuff that we were shooting the shit about last night. Even some of the shit that we were speculating about has proved to be untrue. David, in my case, we had discussed. I think there was a discussion about every competent human that you meet out there is going to be a player. And I kind of said, no, I'm thinking it's the people that are coming out of the vault that are humans. And I think there were a few that agreed with me. Well, no, it's everyone. See, but that's the beauty of it, JPEG. There is no task at hand. That's the absolute allure of it. This building is emptying. Yeah, other than occasionally doing something. No, it would be no trouble. Welcome to Dwarfville, a town built for a mysterious group of tiny people that disappeared back into their own realm, leaving behind these tiny structures, just the right size for toddlers to play house. That's a huge mystery right there. Well, that's a fire helicopter, is it not? Yeah, it is. So, in fact, there are fire choppers heading out there to the wildfire, which has totally destroyed. No, it hasn't. Actually, they're already rebuilding. In the midst of a fire, Face Corp Oil is rebuilding. That speaks to their limitless funds, probably. Lovely area after the fire. Just absolutely lovely. So, now that the fire's out, I'm going to save one more time, and then I'm going to decide what I can do, mischievous, wise, to Cat County. What can we do? Do we, hit it with an earthquake? Do we, I want to see, how well the vaults work here. We'll be lush soon enough. I think that's true. And yeah, Grayson, yeah, JPEG, yeah. Well, isn't it so that after a forest fire, the undergrowth comes back pretty quick? It actually attracts, shit, I think it attracts bears, from what I understood. In Yellowstone, there was a hell of a forest fire. Not while we were there, but you can certainly see the results of it. And I recall a ranger saying that there's already undergrowth coming back, and that we're not going to see many bears on the trails because most of them have migrated to that area because they get these the plants bearing fruit that are still low, that are just cropping up or whatever. And bears weren't the only ones. It's just the only one I paid attention to. You know what I mean? You could have talked about other animals that don't carry as much gravitas. But yeah, the hotspot teams, they have failed. They have failed, considering that they are not very far away, just across the river. So right here. I mean, shit, man. They can see the fires. They can see them. Just barely now, but when those things were really raging. Yeah. Yeah, not cool, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, not cool. Okay, so what do we do? Let's take a look at our options. Speaking of forest fires, we could start another one. Heat releases the seeds from pine cones. This according to JPEG. I mean, if you're gonna believe... Yeah, no, I believe. Life flourishes in the wake of a fire. Nature's been doing it for a long time. I don't believe that last bit, because, man invented fire, and I think that was in 1802. So... But otherwise, I think you're dead on. I think... No, I totally, I get it. And thus attracts some of this wildlife that doesn't concern themselves with high perches or whatever, I suppose. A collapse, that's not very exciting. Shit, if it happens in that large of an area, it's interesting. What the hell? Well, I'm just curious now. I don't think I've ever done this. A collapse. What collapses? What? We're just gonna watch it while we bullshit. Yeah, 1802. I might be off by, give or take a couple, you fill in the blank. But I'm thinking around there. Oh, this might take a while for these houses to fall. Yeah, but Fallout 76. What to say? I was certainly attracted to the idea when he said, and I paraphrase here, but he said, like previous Fallouts, you will be able to play solo. And he did say, not paraphrasing with the like previous Fallouts, though. However, there's a few red flags for me. I still am anticipating the game. I should preface by saying that I am going to pre-order it. I am going to play it. But knowing that every other character is a player, and so even if they say there's an option to, well, not so much play offline, but ignore other players, then that essentially means no interaction with any other humans. That's not great. Here we go. I baited somebody in here.
You are a masturbator indeed.
I set you up for that. No.
Guilty.
I didn't. It was unintentional, but nice. You seized upon the moment. Well played. Yeah, but the other red flag, for me, the emote wheel. Because that indicates to me that dialogue is minimal. So, seeing a relatively realistic character, or, realistic in terms of, like, Fallout graphics, stick their thumb up, like, arm outstretched, as if, like, almost, like, super enthusiastic, at an angle like Sieg Heil, but, like, thumbs up. I could have used a better, more metaphor than the Nazi salute, but, like, straight up Vault Boy. That's kind of tacky, and it just indicates to me that there will be people playing that are just, like, doing emotes. That's not immersive.
Oh, come on, giant thumbs up. Give me some caps.
Right. What is your take?
In short, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
The fact that it's an online only, where the only other players in the game, the only other people in the world are dozens, quote unquote, of other players, other people, that can either be friendly if they choose, or reavers if they choose. And for me to drop into a game that is a PvP environment, it just ruins the entire anything for me. I can't play Fallout PvP, period.
So, what if I were to tell you that the multiplayer aspect is co-op, or at least there's an option where it's only co-op, and no, not every NPC you encounter is a player character. There's going to be shopkeepers, there's going to be quest givers, there's going to be all sorts of NPCs out there in the environment. It's just that you can have some people with you. Doesn't that sound great?
see, if we could have a cooperative world in which we could actually help each other, promote community, and build each other up, both literally in a building scheme and figuratively in a friendships angle, and not be worried about some jerk off walking around killing us or nuking our settlements. Yes, that does sound amazing. You give me the button that says turn PvP off, and I would very much consider it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. To have the other human NPCs, and the people that join are pretty much like a la State of Decay, there to help you. That sounds awesome. That's not what they're doing. That's that's the problem. I mean, it sounds, though I am anxious for the game. I kind of had the wind taken out of my sails today when he said in the interview that they wanted him to be specific, and he said no, nobody else is. Yeah, no NPCs except for your monsters and whatnot. That was painful. And I kept thinking of that emote wheel. Eee. Yeah, I just, and graphic-wise, like, seeing the trailers, seeing the screenshots, that whole business, if it was just like Fallout 4, mechanics-wise, it looks like a pretty damn good game. But
absolutely. If that world that they've created in West Virginia was full of colorful characters, unique locations, amazing NPCs and plot lines, we could be talking something awesome. But the fact that they've said there are no NPCs, the Overseer will give you quests, go make your own game. Good luck with your dozens of people. That feels fucking lazy. Bottom line. That's them saying, I don't have to put my effort into this to make this a interactive environment, because your dozens of other players are going to decide whether this is a war zone or a friendly, peace-loving whatever, or whether you're going to get nuked at a moment's notice.
Wow. That, yeah, I can't argue with that, and that pains me. And of course it does. It's not like people out there are enjoying the fact that they're disenfranchised or disheartened by what they've seen.
I was willing to give it its due, give it a chance. And every time he opens his mouth, it gets further from something I'll play. When it was the question of, well, maybe PvP is optional, I could go for that. And then he says, no, it's not. Everybody gets it. This is your, what's the right word? I mean, the other people are the antagonists. He didn't say it in those words, but that's what it is. They didn't want it to be free of that influence, because they said they don't want it to be what was it, too grief heavy
Griefy.
or something like that.
I think he said griefy.
They didn't want to be too griefy, and they wouldn't remove that component. Too griefy means, well, sure, you're still going to get your shit kicked in once in a while, but I don't want that from your game. So the easiest way to not get my shit kicked in is to not pay my caps for the game.
Yeah, I can't argue with that either. And part of what you said definitely resonates with me. Well, nothing you've said. I've not taken issue with any of it, but one part that specifically resonates is the whole I don't know. The whole too griefy thing. That yes, It is their intent to have players interact on some kind of violent level. Now, I've heard him say shit about, like, you can ignore other players, but I don't know if he means, like, there's an ignore switch, or if he's just saying put yourself in a mental state where you're going to ignore them, which to me translates to hiding in the woods, watching somebody from afar, too scared to come down and do anything. I don't know. Yeah, but where he said the more you hear him talk, it seems like the worse it gets. Last night, I was optimistic as hell. I was hoping there was a detailed story, a lot of dialogue recorded. I think there could still be story. I don't think there's much dialogue recorded. It sounds to me like the players have to make their own dialogue. And he also even said, make your own stories. He didn't say that's what you have to do, but he said that's something you can do. So that at least leaves some room in terms of, like, here I go. I'm going to say NPC-driven quests just because he said the Overseer is going to be giving you quests, but as it stands, I don't know that you ever see the Overseer, and he has said that NPCs are other people, so I don't know where that leaves us. But listening to his interview today was more disheartening for me than his E3 presentation last night. Because
well,
at least,
last night was the primer.
Yeah.
And like you said, you walked away with hope. You walked away going, well, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just shot you down. I mean, that's kind of how you're making it sound, or at least,
No, I would say that's accurate. Yeah. Yeah, took the wind out of my sails for sure, because I was holding on to little things that he said. Like previous Fallout games, you're going to be able to play solo in a massive world.
That a devastating meteor will strike the city in the near future.
I held on to that like previous Fallout
if
games.
any is available.
Oh, shut up, lady.
Astrologists report that a devastating meteor will
Hold on
strike
one
the
second.
city in
Let
the
me get
near
rid of this
future.
woman's volume.
Residents should seek
She's
shelter
loud as hell.
immediately if any is available. Astrologists report that a devastating meteor will strike the city in the near future.
My God, there we go. No, but little parts of what he said, I kind of clung on to. But he damn near contradicted himself today. Or at least his clarification kind of hurt. Grayson, for the time... Well, let's see. No, he's withholding judgment until he sees actual gameplay. Yes. I mean, I am... like I said, I am pre-ordering it. It is a Fallout game. But here's the thing, to me... wow, there we go. ESO, Elder Scrolls Online.
Avoid the impact site and head to shelter if any is available.
I'm not into that, because part of the allure for me for Bethesda games is and it sounds so trite, but being able to drag that body, being able to pick up that cup and move it across the room and drop it back down, that kind of stuff, for some reason, I'm attracted to, as minor as it seems to be. But obviously you can't do that in Elder Scrolls Online. And I could sit here and say, I've enjoyed every Elder Scrolls game since Morrowind. And I have, up until Elder Scrolls Online. And I haven't played it, but I've seen enough of it to know that it is not the Elder Scrolls I'm looking for. So I gotta pause the game real quick. So that has suddenly become my fear today, that... I'm not saying they're doing the same thing with Fallout, but I am saying that I'm afraid that those parts will be omitted. That you're not going to be able to pick up the little... Yeah, you know what I mean. You can't drag the bodies. You can't pick up whatever and carry it somewhere else. without putting it in your inventory, you know what I mean? It's almost as if they're stripping down so much of what, in my opinion, makes a Bethesda game for the sake of multiplayer, and I know you would have to strip some shit out. You think Todd just did a bad job of describing the game? Okay, I'm going to unpause and watch this destruction as well. Even though I don't think these tidal waves are going to get up on shore. They're not. So that was kind of stupid. I got to find something else to destroy the city. Anyways, for the time being, I'll stick with Fallout 4 in New Vegas. Regardless of anything else in 76, if there's an in-game store where you can spend real-life money for Uber gear, I'm not buying the game. Microtransactions are a deal breaker.
A meteor strike
Yeah,
has occurred.
yeah.
Avoid
And that's
the
all.
impact site
Grayson,
and head to shelter if any is available.
I can't argue with that. I want to withhold judgment, but at the same time, you know, I think you can judge based on what you know. My problem yesterday was so much speculation, but as things are clearing up, I'm finding myself eating some of my words from yesterday and even earlier today in Draco's stream. Come on, who doesn't love picking up a dead vampire and dropping them in a blacksmith's fire pit? I know I do. And Deadmans, how the hell are you, man? Good to see ya. Sounds like it's just a sandbox survival game with roaming world bosses. Yeah, much to my chagrin, if that's the case. And again, not like anybody takes joy in it, so. Except for Todd Howard and his peeps at Bethesda. So it's a deal breaker, JPEG. Is that, like, from what you know, you are not playing it, right?
Unless something changes based off of what we've been told so far, I would find it very difficult to enjoy this game with the information I've been given.
Yeah. It was very diplomatic, but the bottom line is no, as it stands, based on what a lot would have to change, right?
The biggest thing for me is PvP. If they can remove that element from the game to actually give me a reason to want to play with other people and cooperate with anybody I find, much in the way of, for example, State of Decay, in which you cannot hurt your friends, you cannot hurt the people you're playing with, then it would give me a reason to want to play and want to explore, knowing that I wasn't going to get bashed in the brain the second that we finished clearing out the group of raiders that we walked up on. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, I killed those guys because they're mean. Oh, guess what? I just got brained by the guy that was behind me.
Yeah.
Because he's not so friendly after all. You know, what do you do with that?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. If people can turn on you at the drop of a dime like that. Boy, that's depressing. It's true, but it's so damn depressing.
So that is my base problem with PvP across the board. And the guy that can sit there and play and play and play all the day long is going to be far superior a player and have more gear and experience and time at the joystick than anybody who's a casual gamer, much like myself. And that is, I mean, I don't enjoy getting murdered. every 3 seconds in a game. I don't like it.
No, I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
If the game itself does it, that's called rage quit. If it's other people, well, fuck, you just don't play the game because there's no other opportunity. You cannot improve because you cannot actually play. So that's me in PvP.
Well, to some degree, I can totally sympathize with that. I think of, like, God, the most competitive game I feel like I've played recently was Battlefield 1, and it's not because I admire the Battlefield or Call of Duty franchises. I'm not really into competitive first-person shooters, but I'm a big fan of history, and I've never seen a game about World War One, and I thought, well, that would be interesting to me to see the Great War portrayed by a company that can do a good job graphically. And I did enjoy it for like a month, a lot. But within that time, I didn't get any better, right? Because I reached my peak in terms of first-person shooters. Whereas the community, they started to learn how to exploit. They, it's just those like 12-year-olds that got really damn good at the game. And so a month in, I was to the point where I was like, well, I can't do shit in this game. I can't even wrap my head around the idea where it's like, Otto, just pretend that you're not just playing one person, you're playing a lot of different people. And yeah, a lot of people are going to die because it's World War One. So yeah, jump out of the trenches, you get killed like that. And that's fine. But I could only do that mentally for so long before it was like, shit, I can't get anywhere in this game. Nowhere. Because some kid who, when close enough, can actually talk shit, killed me. And when he talked shit, it didn't sound like a World War One soldier. I can assure you of that.
Noob.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what kind of soldier of the Kaiser's army says noob? Does Minecraft... Oh, shit, excuse me. That's actually not a bad analogy. Does Minecraft meets GTA Online with a Fallout skin seem right? Yeah, because you have the building, a la Minecraft, I guess. Community building, so you can team up with friends and build a little something. Okay. GTA Online. Hi, I'm here to carjack somebody, then suddenly a tank attacks me, or a fucking kid in a jet blows me up. And I've only been in the server for 2 minutes, mind you. All of this in a Fallout skin. Yeah, I could kind of see. I could see where you come up with that analogy. God, that sucks. My hope is that when I play it, I'm going to be playing it with friends, and Jesus. Maybe we got to recruit a 12-year-old that can actually fire a gun a lot better than the rest of us and just sick them on people when they get close. Till, of course, those people decide to drop a damn nuke on us. And can they destroy your settlement? You build your own little shit, I was watching this guy, Ricky Sumner, I think his name is. I've been watching him for a while, but good stuff. And he said, how did he put it? Yeah, he said of all the settlements they showed you in their videos, you never saw anything too big or impressive. It all seemed pretty limited.
For me, I'm imagining that it is not, in fact, settlements, that the thing that you are putting down is, in fact, it's basically a player home. You have limited resources in a limited space to build a something. I mean, who the hell are the settlers going to be when there are no NPCs in the game?
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, good point.
How do you build a community with no people? Unless you put your 5 friends together and you build 5 buildings or whatever in whatever area they give you. There's nobody to inhabit the world.
Yeah. God, that's so true. So yeah, I can see why that would bring you to the conclusion. It is speculation, but
Of course, yes.
but one key part of it is based on fact that if every NPC, every human NPC is a player, then where do settlers fit in? They don't. There's no room for settlers then.
Building robot communities because robots are the only other things there are. Robots and monsters. You know, question mark. What do you do?
If they even let
I'm
you
seeing
do
player
that.
houses. They're
Yeah.
all little places.
Oh, one thing that Ricky fellows mentioned that really made a light bulb ignite in my head was he said that, and this is so painful, but again, so true. He said that if you could build a really fucking impressive settlement, they would have built one, damn it, and they would have put it in their presentation. You
They
would have
would have.
seen something epic,
Yep.
but you don't. You see, like, a barn and some tents. And that carried weight with me. So, going back to the Minecraft GTA Fallout analogy, maybe not so much because you could build something a lot more impressive in Minecraft. As sad as that sounds, but I built the USS Central America ship that sunk in 1856 in Minecraft. It's pretty fucking detailed. Yeah, it doesn't. Sounds like you're going to be able to build a campsite, well, glorified campsite, a player home, as JPEG puts it. And that's not guarantee, but the fact that there are no settlers seems pretty much, well, settled. Picture this, you have been running around for a week collecting scrap items and resources to build your ideal settlement. Another thing they haven't discussed is how exactly you collect those items anyway. Um, you are finished, everything is as you wanted, you log off, you log back in, and you find nothing but a smoking crater with a player message, thanks for being nuclear material, noob. Yeah, I bet that could be possible. I don't know. I would hope that my settlement would disappear when I log off. I don't know how that works, but shit, the same thing could happen while I'm there, or while I head out to find more materials, or to go get that latest puppy that Bethesda just allowed us to buy.
Well, they do say that you will not lose progress, and what you have will travel with you. So I'm honestly wondering if this uh, camp was that machine they have.
Yes, yes.
If how does that work? Are you designated to one server for end of days? You log in one time, you have a server. Your house is in that same spot. Well, what happens if somebody else built a house in that spot? How do if you're in one place, oh, they nuke you and then they get to build their own? I mean, there's a lot of question marks here that cannot yet be answered, I don't think.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I see. I see what you're saying. Yeah, because that possibility would exist. Two people would build in the same spot. I think every house in Cattsville is overflowing with sewage because the proper drains are out. By the by, that's all those red squares. So even Cattsville is like, they're going nuts over the E3 stuff. There's shit everywhere. And crime. People are panicking. Time to hit them with a meteor. That's what we'll do. We'll drop a few meteors on some city centers. One on Cat City, one on Cattsville, one on Snug City, one on Alabare Fields. I can't leave Lady Di out. Let's destroy Di Island. I'm not doing this because of any grievance. I mean, the last time I played this, I sent a meteor into downtown JPEG. It's nothing personal. It's just fun to destroy. Okay, we'll let that play out. Oh shit, one more thing. Let's go ahead and order the citizens to evacuate to the nearest emergency shelter, to the nearest vault. And we'll sit back and watch that while we shoot this shit. In the end, we'll find out how many of these vaults filled up with people. Let me check the population in total real quick. 4,680. Jesus, people are leaving because of all the sewage, so this isn't a fair estimate, but whatever. Anyways, back to the chat. Shitsville. Welcome to Catsville. Dead Man's Walking says more like Shitsville. And if I'm next to him, I'm like, oh. That's why Cat is always so grumpy. She is really backed up. We have talked so much smack about Cat that she is going to be summoned. She's going to awake from her slumber. She is going to come here, and she is going to spite us all. She's going to smite us and spite us. You can do both, right? So what about the radio thing? What was that? Was that in another interview with Todd Howard, or?
I'm sorry, say that again, Otto?
What about the radio thing that you mentioned? I'd try to go back to your comment, but I'm trying to jog your memory. You said something about
no,
a
it's
radio thing.
yeah. You know that it's the YouTube channel Fallout Radio, Old World Radio, that's always playing
Yes,
Fallout
okay.
music.
Yeah.
They are having officially. It's the title of the stream is Bethesda E3 After Party and Discussion Plus Music. So they're still doing their thing, but then other people are having discussions about Fallout. So.
Ah, gotcha. I see. I see. Yeah, I am familiar with that. I've certainly, I don't think I've ever gone to that channel, to be honest, but I've certainly seen it as a recommended. Okay, I'm gonna let these meters fall. It might take a while, but I will be right back. I'm gonna use the restroom and get one more beer.
Are you drinking real beer tonight?
I am. I'll prove it to you with my face cam. I am drinking Stella, which is my drink of choice. You probably recall me saying that, but
I heard you liked Stella.
I do. I like Ice Stella. It's the best.
Aren't you supposed to drink it in a fancy cup and wipe the foam off with a knife?
Yeah. Yeah, with a silver knife. Classy as fuck. This is from Belgium, you know.
Oh ho.
Yeah, yeah. They were sacked real quick by the Germans. I think it was because of the Stella, is what the Germans were going for. So they weren't all wrong. The Nazis were wrong, but the Germans not all wrong. Get this camera off my face. It's gratuitous. But yeah, I'll let you witness the destruction here. I will be right back.
A meteor strike has occurred. Avoid the impact site and head to shelter if any is available. A meteor strike has occurred. Avoid the impact site and head to shelter if any is available. A meteor strike has occurred. Avoid the impact site and head to shelter if any is available. A meteor strike has occurred. Avoid the impact site and head to shelter if any is available.
well, things definitely got messy there. Guess I'll look at the points of impact. Mount Mortal is no more. Is Fallout 76 going to be cross-platform? That, to me, is a huge question. And so here we go with speculation. What do you think?
I suppose I'm actually in the voice chat. I don't have to type. Draco was saying yesterday that he believes it will be cross-platform because if Bethesda is hosting, then everybody will integrate with them, and it doesn't matter where you come from. You don't necessarily need to worry about, I am a Fallout, or I am a PlayStation player, I'm a PC player, I'm a Xbox player, because you are on their servers. You're not going to Xbox, you're going to Bethesda.
I
So
see.
if everybody goes to them, then the theory is it shouldn't matter where you originate from. So yes, cross-platform. But the better question at this juncture is how do we find each other? Can we find each other? How do we actually line up with our friends?
Yeah,
And those are things they haven't addressed yet. It's too early, I think, for those.
and I do think that I know Draco has mentioned Bethesda applying pressure to Sony, which the way you just mentioned his views, that might not have even been necessary. But at the same time, I do feel like there's some bad blood there because of the decisions Sony has made. So I could envision them applying some kind of pressure, with the threat of exclusivity or whatever. But yeah, that actually sounds like a reasonable argument that it would be cross-platform. How to find other players? He said you'll never see. This isn't Draco. This is Todd Howard said that you never see the servers. Does that mean you don't know? Yeah, well, yeah, that means you don't just join a server. You don't join, like, Eastern US or whatever.
Well, to have dozens of players in a specific location, how exactly do you bring your friends together? I mean, if I'm not hosting and I have my friends come to me, how do they all end up in the same place?
Oh, yeah. You mean, like, on the map? Like, not just in the server, but...
Well, I mean, obviously it has to be many servers to handle that many players.
Right.
So how would you, Otto, land in my instance, or vice versa? How do I get to your exact Fallout map? Because obviously each instance of its dozens of players will have the same map, all the same things inside of it, with whatever variables they might have. So how even if we're all in the same place, how does my instance come to your instance and we're all together?
Yeah. No, that's a fair question. Well, part of me does wonder if it'll be like State of Decay or Sea of Thieves that seemingly worked in terms of PC and Xbox, but then you bring Sony into the mix, and I don't know how that works. Well, I guess what I'm saying is on the Xbox or whatever, I could just look you up and invite you to game. But I don't see how that would work. This is through the medium of your console or whatever, without anything in the Fallout menus. That helicopter's flying awful strange. I just don't know. Yeah, it's certainly a valid question. Because obviously that's what we would. I mean, that would be desirous to. I mean, shit, if you got enough of us to populate a map, if there's only I say only dozens, but dozens, doesn't that go all the way up to 100? I mean, once you're over 100, I guess, or yeah, you would say 100 plus or hundreds, but
Right. I mean, for me, if I was going to try to put a number on dozens, I would probably say 50 to 75 would be dozens. Somewhere in that range, because as he says, it's the apocalypse. It's not an amusement park.
I think that's a direct quote.
I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, if the number was kind of minuscule, then you could invite friends to your game, then I guess you could just try to dominate a server. That might still alienate, a half dozen people or a couple people or whatever. But even that puts a burden on us, kind of. Like it's on us to manipulate the system. I guess it shouldn't be like that.
Manzer's assuming there would be a global lobby, and I mean, if we're talking, I mean, everybody uses, for example, that's using mods, they have a Bethesda login. So I would assume that you would have to create a Bethesda account, and it would somehow be tied through that. And who knows, maybe with that information, like you were saying, Otto, maybe you can send invites. But I don't know how that would work when certain people are on a certain server. I mean, let's talk about building things. I have an instance, you have an instance, they're not in the same place. I built my stuff, you built your stuff. I walk away from my instance into yours and my stuff stays forever? Or is it attached to that little damn box, that camp you take with you, and you can put your camp down wherever you want to, and that's your house? Well, I need a workbench. Oh, better put my house down.
Oh, I see. So, God, then would you just have the one camp?
Question mark? Speculation? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, if we're talking specific instances, people's worlds, I don't know how they integrate. And who knows? Maybe Bethesda doesn't even know yet.
Not saying they're related, but if it's as good as Red Dead Redemption Online multiplayer, would you enjoy that? Dead Man's.
I didn't play Manzer. I can't help you there.
Dead Man's, I played the shit out of Red Dead Redemption. See, but the difference would be that Red Dead had so many NPCs. I mean, obviously, obviously, because the only exception to them was the wildlife, of which it was plentiful, but so many NPCs. I mean, you went into a town, it was populated, and the law, of course, famously, shit, wasn't it even if you murdered another player character, law deputies would be dispatched to come find you? I might be wrong about that. I think that was the case, though. Murdering people had a penalty, and maybe you could do it in the middle of BFE, and that the marshals or whatever are going to be dispatched from pretty damn far away or whatever. God, it's been so long, but that was a hell of a fun game. But my point is the problem being that everyone's a player, so that would be a stark difference between Red Dead and Fallout 76. That Red Dead was fun, but I think a lobby only had I don't remember, 18, maybe 21 people in it, and yes, you had pricks in it that would shoot at you, and sometimes it was frustrating. So as much as I like Red Dead, at the same time, a la Grand Theft Auto, there were times where it was like, and Dead Man's, you'll remember this too, there were times where you'd look at your mini-map, and you'd say to yourself, fuck, I'm not going to that town. Because you can tell right from your map that there's players in that town, and they're just griefing each other like fucking crazy. And what was worse is when you accidentally, or you spawned in a town like that, you weren't getting out of that town. I mean, you might as well go to a different lobby, because people were there just shooting each other like mad. And while Rockstar does well with that stuff, even though it can be infuriating, Bethesda, it's just such a different IP in the case of Fallout that just, God, I can't imagine anybody wants that. But I appreciate you mentioning Red Dead Redemption, because that is coming out. But people like JPEG, well, if JPEG you didn't play, you haven't played it, right? JPEG, you didn't play Red Dead.
I did not. Sorry, I stepped away from my keyboard for a second. I was listening.
Oh no, it's all good.
I'm pushed to talk, and I was just too far from the buttons.
Gotcha.
No, I've known people who really like the series, but I've never played myself.
The thing is, Sony's got an exclusive deal, so they're gonna have Red Dead 2 for a year before it'll become available on PC or Xbox. And that really pisses me off. I don't know. I can't get over that, because I'm such a fan of that game. 16 people in a server. Okay, see now, and that was manageable. And even then, we dominate servers. Shit, it's all coming back. It's all coming back to me now, to quote a Celine Dion song. God, who doesn't love Celine Dion here? Don't we all? For my money, it doesn't get much better. Sarcasm detector should be going off. Anyways, yeah, it's all kind of coming back to me now. In Red Dead Redemption, some of the skins you could wear would be U.S. Cavalry uniforms from like early 1900s. So it was like the doughboy uniform, and we would max out a posse full of cavalry, and I actually had bugle calls on my phone. And so I would say shit out loud like, mount up, and people would, I'd blow the bugle horn and people would mount up, or we'd find some player just out there minding his own business. And yes, this is griefing. He might be out there hunting boar or some shit, and then all of a sudden we come riding up in formation, and he hears a bugle call, he hears me say, charge, and we'd stop, dismount, form firing line. We didn't do that too many times because we didn't always have the people, but I always like to think, like, what does the poor son of a bitch at the receiving end of that think? Like, oh my god, it's the fucking U.S. military showing up. But, I had a lot of fun with that game. And I hope the sequel I hope it's worthwhile, and I hope that they keep the number of people in the servers limited. But again, I won't be able to play it for a year. In the meantime, I'll be watching people on PlayStation play it, which freaking sucks, because I think they're actually pushing the timeline back. Well, I know they are. So it's going to be more like the 18... well, I would probably say just post-1865. So, I mean, whereas in Red Dead Redemption, you were really seeing the death of the West. This sounds like you're going to be right in the middle of, like, Native Americans, U.S. Cavalry, railroad, all that shit. To me, that's attractive. But, sorry, I got on a tangent about Red Dead. Let's see. I don't buy all the characters in the game will be real people. If you only have a dozen players in your game, that would make for some really empty towns. And yes, JPEG's right, dozens, not a dozen. And in theory, there wouldn't be towns established. I think that's true. If everyone's a player. I'm not going to read Grayson's next comment because I hate it. And part of the reason I hate it is because I recognize a bit of the truth in it. It's just I'm still at a point where I kind of want to reject that, but I just really want there to be some kind of redeeming factor. I mean, going into this, did any... And I guess I'm going off of what that fellow that I watched, Ricky, say again. He said at a few points he thought Bethesda's not dumb enough to do this. Whatever you want to argue that this is. But then he said after E3 he thought, well, I was wrong. They are dumb enough to do this, but... And he also mentioned a harsh realization that that they might not be targeting us anymore. You know, that
Targeting
Bethesda...
what, our audience?
Exactly. Bethesda might just not be trying to cater to JPEG dev, to automatic. That we are not their target demographic anymore. That they're kind
They
of...
want the 20-year-old Fortnite players that are waiting on their paychecks to buy loot crates. That's the player they want. That's the moneymaker.
Yeah, that was kind of what he was saying. Yep.
I have a number of coworkers that are in their early 20s, and they are Fortnite players. They are Overwatch players, and the one kid in specific, on when we got paid last, he actually did say that he was happy to go home and spend money on loot crates. He was excited to go home now that he had his paycheck and spend that money.
Wow.
And I'm just, what the actual hell?
Sucker
So,
for punishment.
For him, it was something that mattered, and that's a lot of players, because it's, there's a lot of these games anymore that aren't, you don't pay to play, you pay to win, and if you're not paying the
Yes.
money, then you're not the winners. And if their demographic has shifted to that group, then that's exactly what we can expect from this game, in my opinion.
Well, I can't argue with that. Grayson says, but hope springs eternal, sort of. Dead Man's. I'm still gonna play it. Dead Man's, what platform are you gonna play it on? I wonder. I'm curious about that. And if it's cross-platform, I'm hoping it won't matter, that we'll be able to team up or whatever. But your city has some... It did have some Northern Lights action. Yeah, they do have that happening occasionally. How big is 4 times the Fallout 4 map? It's hard for me to quantify without... I'm not sure how big it is. It's pretty damn big to give you a vague response.
I bet that if we asked one of our survival players, they could actually tell you it is 40 minutes walking side to side, for example, something like that. So one of those players might be able to tell us something like that.
Yeah, I think that might be true. I think somebody asked me to do that once. I think they saw when I was doing the squad stuff. You know how the squads only walk in using the FCOM mod?
Right, their pathing they choose?
Yeah. And somebody asked, how long would it take for them to walk from one end of the map to the other? The true answer was, that mod would not be able to tell you, because the keyword that you just mentioned, pathing, the pathing that they took was so oddball or whatever. I think it was Maxwell Von Dugan that asked that. Yeah, short of doing it myself, which I guess you could encumber yourself in doing and do it, but you'd be killed. Because you'd be over encumbered and run into a random encounter, and that would not be good. But it is a valid question. But I would argue that 4 times the size of the Fallout 4 map is pretty damn big. And I know that's a vague answer, but...
See, I was watching the Wasteland Dovahkiin video earlier, and she was talking about the map as well. And she was saying that she thought that the Fallout 4 map was too small. I'm thinking to myself, too small for what? I mean, to walk in from one side of the map to the other, let's just say north to south, through the heart of town, to walk a path and fight whatever you come across along the way, it would take you hours and hours to cross that map.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know why it's too small.
Yeah, that notion never crossed my mind. That the map was too small, that is. Let's see, Greater Boston times 4. Yeah. Probably PC, okay. And you're not worried about being pay to win. If they have microtransactions, I bet it will be for skins. Yeah. It's tough with microtransactions or even mod. Well, okay. It's a misnomer for me to say mods. I mean Creation Club. And that is something that Todd Howard said today, that there would be mods eventually. But how do you do that with a multiplayer game? Aside from, everybody gets an update, so everybody's got the mod. It's just you gotta pay to unlock it.
Well,
So
see,
that way,
not talking to mods specifically.
yeah.
Personally, when we're talking about microtransactions, I'm looking at their very most recent business model for a game with microtransactions, being Fallout Shelter. In that game, you paid real money to get lunch boxes that had sometimes weapons, sometimes clothes, sometimes I think people even, like additional settlers kind of thing.
Oh, I see.
So in the most recent game that they've been trying microtransactions in, you can in fact buy weapons and armor, although in those cases they were randomly generated. So you just got a box and you kind of got lucky about what you got.
I see. So everybody did have this shit already in the vanilla game. You were just paying to get it without having to grind for it or be lucky enough to find it. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Golly, I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since I played. Honestly, I haven't played Fallout Shelter in 3 years, maybe more. I don't know. Anyway, it was more like getting special weapons, like unique weapons. Something that was more Haas than standard whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're right, Deadman's. It is a free-to-play game, unless you're purchasing it on some of these other platforms. Because unless I'm mistaken, I don't think you can play it for free on PlayStation, can you? I don't know. I guess I never really tried.
You might be able to, because I think it's free to play on Xbox, I believe. Because at one point I was tempted to do that. I did have it on my phone, but my phone couldn't handle it after a while, um, so I saw it available on Xbox. But by that time I was kind of burning out of it. Um, I wasn't willing to pull the trigger. Not that pulling the trigger entailed spending money, it's just time, I guess. So here we're in Gary County. It's farthest north. It's snow covered. You got I-77 south to Snug City, which was obviously in the last county we were in. You got Grayson Farms. Well, hell yeah, I did name something after Grayson. Population, I don't know. Let's see. Population 1,297. Farther along I-77, you've got Denise. This is probably the biggest town despite it being a small town. Population there, no, 294, 354, 278, 203. I guess it's almost comparable population-wise because it's not even counting these houses, which aren't technically in Denise. That sounds so horrible.
How many houses has she got in her anyway?
I don't know. I just kept talking until it finally clicked that, like, dude, the words you're saying do not sound very nice. So, moving on, you've got Charles Reserve, named after Denise's husband. Damn it. Oh, man. And then you've got Bubba Bay, named after Bubba Dilligaff, or Dilligaff Bubba, I forget. And Bubsfield, which is a little farming. It's a small town, very small. 165 and 164, so, about 350 people. And that's it. I think you've got another Draco Mining, because Draco apparently is, he's got a lot of mining operations around the state.
Hey, Deadman's leaving.
Deadman's gotta sleep. Understandable, man. Well, thanks for coming by. Thanks for shooting the shit. Much appreciated.
Oh, we also have a Caleb now.
Caleb the Great. How the hell are you, man? In a city that has 3 million. Jesus, dude. So are you playing on PC or on console? Because this is Xbox edition, full disclosure, so it is limited by the constraints of console. God, that'd be nice. I'll go to my largest city is Jabbok in Odeth County, which seems awful appropriate because he's here right now.
I didn't know you named anything after me. That's nice.
Yeah, the whole county, and then the biggest city in the state is I did not intend for your city to be the biggest city in the state. It just got out of control.
Are you calling me fat?
I'm done. I've already talked about how many people were in Denise, and we said some shit about Cat, too. What were you going to say?
It just got out of control, you said.
It did. It did.
I didn't mean for it to be the biggest one.
Some people might take that as a compliment, but you went straight to the fat thing. which is probably preferable to the other thing. So Odeth County has Nacho Acres, Business Mining Company, Theris Hills, which is mining.
He's no miner.
Isn't he? You've got Shell Oil Fields North. I love that. Shell Oil. That's just, to me, that's funny.
Very clever.
You see what I did there? And related to that, there's Maxwell Pass. This named after, Nacho Business is a feller that I run into occasionally. But Shell is another feller. That's his name's Shell on YouTube and Discord. It's Maxwell. But there's the oil fields north, oil fields south, and then you've got Maxwell Pass, which is a pretty small town. All of this stuff, all these little towns, even going over to Business Mining Company. I love this little area here, just because these houses flood. In fact, there's one of them severely flooded now. But at other times, it will not be flooded. It all just kind of depends on the state of the river at any given moment. But as you can see, they're in the shadow of the largest city in the state. far from millions, Caleb. You know, because I'm kind of screwed being on here. If Caleb's still here, a couple people took off. But they're all in the
You need to
shadow.
build some levees for that.
Yeah, honestly, that's a thing. Of where the hell are they?
Usually near the river. That's what makes them effective.
Yes, yes. I guess. Oh well, there's a flood wall. What are we? Well, that would. Okay, I'm not saving this, so let's see what the. Okay, cannot build on water. Oh, well, I see. Okay. Well, that would be a pain in the ass. And then you've got canals. And canals aren't going to do it. Although, technically, if I put a canal upstream of it, it would probably slightly lower the water level.
Hey, Gray's leaving too. Night, Gray.
Night, Gray. Thanks for being here, man. And you gotta stop producing that laxative laced stuff. That's horrible. Shame on you, man. I-77 south to Billyville, which is the state capital. You got Judah Crossing, Judah Mines, North Judah. Lots of Judah. And then you've got Japik, which essentially is an island. Although there is some residential and industry on the north bank opposite the island and the airport. But
I thought that No Man was an island. You're going to have to keep me up on this shit, man. I can't keep track.
Yes, apparently you are. That's... Again, I don't know how to take that exactly, if that should be a compliment or not.
I'm going to let you decide. Go ahead. Have fun.
We'll say it's a compliment. Just to
Sounds
stay...
good.
Just to stay civil. You got industrial, all the pollution on this end. Then you got the Sir James estate. Because, yeah, Sir James, I know him from your streams.
Yep, he's a good guy.
And so this
Actually, he stopped in the other night. Haven't seen him in a while.
Hell yeah. And how was he?
Well, I think. Apparently he was at a friend's house, and he was literally there for like 5 minutes. So, didn't really have a chance to chat.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, Sir James Estates was designed to be a rich neighborhood, but the northern part, I guess, is the lowest lying part of this island. So a flood occurred, and all the fancy houses were destroyed, and so I decided to replace them with poor houses. But the thing is, the other end of Sir James Estates is actually the highest point on the island. So all the wealthy houses are still up there. So it's kind of a weird little district. I almost wanted to break it up into 2 districts so I could have different policies. But I don't. It's still kind of set up as rich people's zone. East Japik, all of that's residential. Theorist University campus. What am I doing here? I wanted to see the policies. Yeah, pot is actually legal on Theorist University's campus, which is kind of...
Really?
Odd. Yeah.
That's very progressive.
You know, it really kind of is. There is... Yeah, it's got an emphasis on education, theater, or I think. Is that theater or just entertainment? I don't remember. And who cares anyways? This is probably why that Caleb fellow stopped by and then left. He's like, oh, cool, a city Skylines stream. And then he got here and he's like, shit, this guy's not really talking about city Skylines. And he doesn't even spend much time on any given area. Downtown Japik is kind of... Well, you can kind of tell the biggest skyscrapers are there. Um, but it is really just the skyscrapers along, let me get a pointer, like along this green, this giant building. And I think it also includes the stadium. And then there's West Japik. I don't think, yeah, there's no special policies. Well, downtown Japik has a tourism policy, so it does do things to attract tourism, a la the stadium. And there's the county seat.
Yeah, I don't understand most of what we're talking about here, to be honest.
It's,
I think you've built a city, and I'm glad that it's not a complete shithole.
well, good.
Because I mean, with me, I mean, anything's possible.
No, the shithole is well, whichever one was covered with sewage. That was Catsville. Which again sounds harsh, but. And then you got shit on the other side of it. That's mostly residential. You got Port Japik International, I-77 north of Catsville, and Sardiliac Springs. And I don't think I spelled Sardiliac right.
He typically just has a capital D. Otherwise, I think it's right.
Oh, sweet. I figured it was Sardiliac, but
I think DEL is right.
okay, good deal. And that town's basically dominated by a high school, which is kind of almost sad. Almost.
SARS cruising the high school. Is that what you just said?
That's
not cool, man. That's not cool.
Now I feel like I've been interpreted as talking shit about just about everybody now. Let's see, I've covered Cat in Poop. I've talked about everybody that's inside Denise. I've talked about Japik's size. And now I'm accusing Sardiliac of basically going after Myers. So this is cool. Welcome to Shit Talkers. I'm your host, Otto. And if you're out there, I'm going to try to talk shit about you. Grayson left because he's a lightweight. Dead Man's 2.
You know, and I saw 1, 2, 3 big Jude places too. So
big Juke places?
Jude.
Oh yeah.
And it was the 1, 2, 3 big gym thing. You know the.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
I'm sorry. I'm a little late. It's the Ice Stella. Makes me a little slow. No, it's the Stella Artois. Artois. Shit. Yeah, that's my French for you. Artois.
It's not French. You said it was something else.
Oh yeah, it's Belgium.
See, yeah, they're not French at all. Definitely not French.
But this is the same pronunciation, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't speak either language.
Well, and in all honesty, Artois would probably be how you pronounce it no matter where you're from. It's just that I butchered it. Instead, I basically said Stella is Artois. So, there's another one. Ice Stella. I just kind of... I've knocked her out of the way.
She sounds nice enough. She's
Artois, Japik. Don't you know it? This is what happens when I have very few viewers. I feel like I can just, like, attack people. With minimal risk of them actually seeing it. Like, so who else can I attack?
Everyone else.
Mm-hmm. There's Lady Di. Don't get me started on that one. No, I watched her stream today, some of it. And certainly people were talking about 76. Quite a bit. And that was when I was still hanging on to some optimism, so...
I haven't heard any of her opinions on it yet. I mean, I know she was involved right when I came into Draco's stream last night, but I was trying so hard to listen to the video that I was actually trying to tune everybody out.
Yeah, me too, during the actual presentation. Or no, that's right, you showed up a little late, and he was replaying parts of it, right?
Yeah, no, I showed up way late.
Gotcha. Yeah, dice slots, and I don't want to put words in her mouth. Well, to be honest, during her stream, she was kind of just trying to play referee, you know what I mean? She was essentially, taking the wait and see approach, and yeah, telling people to please calm down. So, it sounds like she's no, I ought not try to describe it because I don't really have a keen sense on where she stands.
No, that's fine. I wasn't asking you to. I hadn't heard hers.
Well, I will say this: it does sound like she's going to play it. But that's the extent of what I know in terms of how she'll react to it. I can tell you that I was talking to, God, was it Mr. Vane? Who was kind of dismayed about it. He was not impressed.
Unfortunately, there's a number of us out there that are feeling the same at the moment.
Yeah, undoubtedly. I mean, shit, like, even on Bethesda's YouTube channel, you know, God, their chat, going back and watching the live chat, there's not much, there wasn't much positivity going on.
Are you kidding me? There wasn't any positivity in the room. The people that were there to find out about it didn't want to hear it.
Yeah, I don't know. There was applause. There was talk that there was
one in
no
what, every
applause.
10? One in every 20?
I'd have to go back and watch it again. I don't know.
It was not a lot. Compared to like the Xbox group, for example.
Yeah.
That was thunderous applause. Hundreds of people. I don't know. Did they say thousands of people were in that place? I don't know how many chairs there were.
Me neither.
But they were.
Neither.
I don't know. It was a lot. And it seemed that that particular segment was somewhat poorly received. Do you watch either Final Render or what's her name? Joker's girl, Lois?
Not familiar with Joker's girl. Final Render. I think I've seen a few. Just
they're both
not subscribed, but just recommended occasionally or something.
They're both British Fallout builders,
and
they did a live kind of reaction thing to it.
And was it how was it?
It was not so good, I don't think. Maybe that's the best way to say it.
Good morning, Kincha. How the hell are you? For me, yeah, I'm doing well. Not doing much playing as much as talking, but I think I can't recall. You might have seen my last City Skylines stream. That's just kind of par for the course for this game. I do a lot of just leaving the camera on a certain view. So, notice me, senpai. I thought it was SEN. But you're probably right.
I have no idea.
I honestly, yeah, I don't know. And I don't hold it against you if you're wrong. Or if I'm wrong, I hope you don't hold it against me. But anyways, how's life? Glad to see you here. Currently in Iloilo, PHP. Is that the Philippines? So it's afternoon for you. Just finished shopping. I hope you bought us something nice. And I wonder if Iloilo is correct pronunciation. Why do I doubt it? It is? Jesus, I've won a prize. I don't know what my prize is, but how about an earthquake?
You gonna tear me down?
I mean,
Burn it all.
you know, yeah, I guess. Well, God, they really let you. Oh, here's what I'll do. I will. No, not save the game. Don't be stupid, Otto. Random disaster frequency, just max it out. And something should happen that I do not get to decide. Because I hate when you say you want an earthquake, that it's like, where exactly do you want the earthquake to occur? Because that rhymes with liqueur. No, I'd rather have it a little randomized. So that's what we'll do. We'll just wait for the shit to happen, I guess. Best place to take a vacation, the Philippines. It's a BBB location. Booze, beaches, bitches. Well, who can argue with that? I thought you were saying it's a Better Business Bureau location. Which would be weird, because I don't know.
I'm not sure that the BBB operates anywhere other than the U.S.
I think probably not, yeah. And what would their locations be like? I mean, would that just be an approved, like, this location is approved by the Better Business Bureau, or...
Oh, there's lots of businesses like that.
That's true. That is true. But yeah, there's no Better Business Bureau fun park. Because that would be kind of actually lame, I think. It would be quality, I would argue. Like, it would be clean and probably all the things that the Better Business Bureau looks for. But can't say
there are criteria to get that sticker on your door.
Yes. But that doesn't equate to fun. Just saying. You don't see a Better Business Bureau sticker and think, this is going to be a good time. This is going to be a lot of fucking fun.
Are you sure? Oh, what happens if you went to a titty bar and you showed up and it was a BBB on the door? That means the inspector obviously approved.
That means the inspector's probably in there right now, kicking back some booze, and it's probably free, and getting a lap dance. That's all that means.
I told you he approved.
That's just, wait, what? The only BBB, nope, the only BBB that there is, how much, the cheapest slut, and does she have crabs?
You mean like steamed crabs? I mean, do you guys sell those on the half shell there in the Philippines, or what are they, blue shell, or?
That's horrible. I mean,
they eat lots of seafood in the Philippines, is all I'm saying.
The STD is horrible too, don't get me wrong. In fact, it is worse. But I don't even know what to do now. I feel like I've exhausted the city skylines, and yet I only have like 27 minutes left in the stream. I don't know what the hell to get into. As you can see, I'm downloading an update for Fallout 4. It's been a while since I played that game.
Are you still working on those settlement updates?
Yeah. You know, I had so many plans, and I said it, I think, last week during a stream. I don't know why the topic came up, but my biggest regret, and this is so sad because it was a great challenge, but my biggest regret was actually agreeing to do the challenge. Not that my arms are twisted or anything. I wanted to do it, but I hate that I entered into it because I didn't finish it. I mean, it just, yeah, had I the foresight to realize, like, I just wouldn't have the time to do that. And then actually there was one point where, I don't know if it was Gary razzing me or what, but there was one point where I was like, you know what, I'm going to fire it up and I'm going to knock out another episode. And I fired it up and I started to mess around with it for a little bit, and I found that, like, I know this is heresy, but I actually felt like I'm kind of burned out. I don't know if I want to... It is heresy, isn't it, to say that one is burned out of Fallout?
No, it's not heresy at all. It's a true statement. I mean, the truth is, by the end of the challenge, with the frequency of the updates, I was burned out. I was working so much at work, plus trying to put a video out every 7 days. It was not agreeing with me, and that's why towards the end I was really losing track of my days. I was barely getting them accomplished.
Yeah. That, I don't know, it just, I let myself down, that's for sure. But it wouldn't be the first time, and it won't be the last.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time you let anybody else down either, I'm sure.
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
That stung. That unnecessarily stung. Well, screw that. That stung so bad that, the good night, folks. Japik killed it. I honestly, I just don't have anything else to play. And before I call it a night, I want to shoot the shit with Japik in a non-recorded fashion. But yeah, honestly, I don't know. I feel like I've kind of exhausted City Skylines. There wasn't much to show, and I just wanted to stream it because, frankly, I'm lazy and I'm drinking tonight. And although lazy does not account for why I stopped the challenge, I swear.
Too busy otherwise. I get it. I totally do.
Yeah. It's just one of those things. When you bite off more than you can chew, and what's worse is that it's summer. I mean, I don't think I would be as, like, opposed to having such a tight schedule if it were winter or shitty weather out, but it's the worst when I realize that my weekends are, like, booked up and it's a beautiful freaking day. That kind of grinds me. But what can you do? There's always next year to switch shit up. But let's see, what's around the bend? On the 15th is the pre-order. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means the beta is going to be up or what. I somehow doubt it. But also on the 15th, Battlestar Galactica Deadlock is getting a massive DLC. A lot of game mechanics are changing. Ships will actually show their damage, so you'll actually see the ships venting because they have holes in them. And after the battles, the ships retain that damage unless you go out of your way to repair them. They're introducing supply ships. They can actually rearm ships that have exhausted all of their munitions. Just a lot of shit happening for Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, which is both surprising and absolutely, like, kind of exciting for me, because I really do like that game, and I haven't paid it enough credence recently, so I will probably be playing that this weekend because the equine facility, the horse park that I go up to every weekend and run a restaurant there, it actually doesn't have a show this weekend, so I will probably try to stream this weekend. We'll see. Anyways, folks, thanks for being here. JPico Dev, thanks for taking the time and joining me to talk.
No problem, bud.
Right on. I always appreciate it. And folks, this is Automatic for Automatic Games. If you like this, and if you are subscribed, I hope to talk to you soon, friends. Bye-bye.